It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey, guys. Welcome back and happy Friday. Guys, we have so much going on today, and I am so excited not only to talk about Paris in Love in the recap, because I'm a huge Paris Hilton fan, especially after The Simple Life, but also because we're going live today at 3 p.m. with Emily D. Baker, and then back tonight at 6 p.m. for Hot Messy Topics. So there's a lot happening. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed, and don't forget to hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything that we have coming up. With that, let's welcome Jason.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I want to ask you, Jason, I want to start off by saying, one, I was pleasantly surprised, and I know it was a little bit of a slow start for Paris in Love, but still pleasantly surprised. If you had to rate this premiere on Peacock from 1 to 10, and guys in the chat, I want you to do the same, what would you give it?
I'd give it like a 7. There were lots of pros and cons that I hope we talk about first before we get into it. I thought it was an easy watch. I liked the style of filming that they used, and I thought it was a good show for Peacock.
I agree. And I think it's a good starter show for them. But, obviously the show is going to center around Paris and her fiance Carter, who they did get married yesterday. So they got married on 11/11. Good for them.
So did Caroline Stanbury.
Yes. And
they're good friends, by the way, Paris and Caroline.
I know. And I almost wondered, were you guys, why the same date? Why weren't they at each other's weddings? But we know that Caroline is most likely filming hers. So just to be fair.
That's why we didn't see any photos anywhere on social media of the actual wedding or venue.
Exactly. For this premiere, I do have to say, I would probably personally give it, even though I was excited about it, I would give it a 6. Emmy Rose said 6 to 7. Kate Beecham 7. Where else? Peyton 6. Krista Marie 7. Okay. All right. So we have a few. I would have to give it a 6 only because I was hoping after we got the Paris Hilton documentary, This is Paris, where she told us about Provo and everything that she went to. My heart broke for her, but she said, this is me showing you the real Paris. And then when we see her on the show, it's interesting watching her because she talks like this, and then when she gets serious, she goes, yes, so that's how I felt. And her voice changes throughout, the octave of her voice is constantly changing because it's so hard for her to take herself out of that Paris Hilton, I'm a dumb blonde, but I'm really not character.
Well, it's even like her fiance said when they first met, but when they sat on the couch, I guess they were starting to date or something. I can't remember exactly what happened, but he said, I want to get to know the real Paris, not Paris Hilton, not the facade that's put on, but the real Paris. And he said she went to go get a bottle of rosé, drank most of it, and then just started
pouring out the real Paris. Yes.
Pouring out the real Paris. And I think that's kind of interesting because I think you do get stuck in how people perceive you and the character that you've created. And I think you do get stuck in that world, in that realm. And it blocks you almost from real life.
It's interesting because I couldn't imagine being in the level of limelight that that they're in, right? That Paris Hilton's in, or any of these other celebrities. But I did kind of find a comparison between her and Erica Girardi. And I know, hold on, hear me out real quick.
Paris?
Yes, Paris Hilton and Erica Girardi. Guys, you're going to rip me apart in the live chat, but just hear me out for a second. So Paris Hilton puts on this persona to protect herself, right? She's like, hi, I'm Paris. That's hot. I'm sliving. That's what she does because that's her persona, and that's how she kind of goes on and goes about her day and deals with people by just dealing with them through this character. It's like it makes her stronger. It gives her the confidence. And Erica Girardi, well, she kind of does the same thing. Right now we see her dealing with the Girardi scandal, but it's almost like she's embodying Erica Jane in order to navigate.
She did have that whole persona going on, that Erica Jane. And then now we just see the kind of crumbling mess that's left over. And she sounds like she's an old woman smoking a cigarette. And when she talks to people, or what, and so I think it's different for me, like Erica Jane, but I do understand what you're saying about putting on the persona. It can make you feel comfortable And that's, I guess, I don't know if she's afraid to show her real self, only because that's how people know her. And maybe she's afraid if she shows who she truly is, people won't like her as much because they love that character. We know that she knows how to work that camera. We know that she knows what she's doing. I do have to say, though, she's still very relevant in pop culture, huh? Paris Hilton.
Well,
going on a sorry, just really quick, that documentary, which was that on Amazon or Netflix? I forgot.
Oh my God.
Or YouTube. I'm sorry, it was YouTube.
I believe it was.
Yeah, so you had that documentary on YouTube. Then we had the Netflix Cooking with Paris. Now we have on Peacock, we have Paris in Love, of course, featuring Kathy Hilton, which is one of my favorite parts about this. And she's just so relevant in our pop culture, whether you like her or not. But this was a very easy watch.
Yeah, and
I just went on a rant. Sorry.
No, that's okay. For Paris, I find it interesting because a lot of people will say to you she's not relevant anymore. But what people fail to realize, sure, she's not Kim Kardashian in the United States, right? Like, we're not all talking about her all the time. However, go to Brazil, go to Australia, go to the UK, and Japan, everyone is lining up to buy her products. She has $1 billion perfume industry. She's constantly working her ass off, and she is still recognized globally. So she might not be as popular in the United States, which, mind you, she still very much so is. She's relevant. But let her go to any of these other countries, and she's
she made Kim Kardashian relevant, and then Ray J made her more relevant.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and get through some of these comments really quick. Krista Marie said, Paris has a real reason to hide from the media. She's a real celebrity with real rich people problems. Okay. Kimberly said she did choose to portray herself as Erica Jane, and it was a poor choice on her part. And I have never thought that Paris was a dumb blonde. I have never seen Paris be as cold-hearted as Erica. Okay. Yes, I absolutely love Kathy Hilton. And Nora said Paris is huge overseas. All right. Well, getting back to Paris and Carter, I do have to say I like this relationship, and I wasn't aware of the fact that they've known each other for about 15 years before their first date. Paris and Carter only exchanged a few words in passing, but after spending Thanksgiving together in 2019, they noticed that they have undeniable chemistry. Now, we know that Paris Hilton has dated rock stars, models, actors. She says it all in the Peacock special. But when she's talking about all of this, she's been engaged 2 other times, and you kind of feel bad for her. And I know that it's weird. It's like playing, like you have to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, because I can see easily on Twitter when I was reading some of the comments where people are like, feel bad for her. Bitch, you make a lot of money. And I'm thinking in my head, yeah, but that doesn't mean she doesn't have problems, or she's not insecure in her own ways, or she doesn't feel lonely. I mean, unless you're in that position, I don't think you could really understand what being in that position would be like. And, for Paris, also, I could see where it would be a challenge for her to meet someone who is worth her time and not using her for her fame or her money. And it seems like that's who Carter is. I mean, did you take that away, or do you get red flags with this?
No, I feel like he has his own shit going on. He has his own business to run. He's not insecure, to say the least. Even Paris's best friend Jen says he gives you space, and that's what you need. I mean, I think when you get to, you are a Paris Hilton, which there are not many, you do need the space, because you kind of have to manage your time a little better being Paris Hilton, being a celebrity, being a business owner, and he knows what that's like. So I feel like they do complement each other. Right.
Well, I think like when we see them taking a walk in Malibu, by the way, guys, under 10 minutes and over 100 in the room, go ahead, smash that like button. Let's get to 150. But, you can see where she's complimenting him and saying, I understand you have to work. You're busy. You're on your computer. I respect that. And I find it sexy. And he's like, same for you. You're always on your computer. You're always working. And he lets her be Paris. And that was one of the comments on here. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. I love Emmy Rose. Thank you. I love that he lets her be Paris Hilton, but that fell in love with Paris and gives her the tough love while still being sweet and kind. I completely agree with that, because looking at her ex-fiance, the guy looked like a complete Ken doll. He was a beautiful dude, right? But he also had no money, had nothing going for him, and he would follow her around like a puppy. So she said she lost respect for him. Whereas Carter is only worth $40 million, only worth $40 million. But compared to her, that's not a lot of money, but he still has enough money to, guess what? Buy her an engagement ring. She's not buying it on her own. He can take her on dates on a private jet. He can rent out the penthouse suite or book it, whatever. He has enough money to provide her with the same lifestyle that she's used to without her having to come out of her own pocket, which is respectable.
I agree.
All right. Well,
I do. It's so funny. Only $40 million. Like, that is the new middle class.
only
You know, it's insane. But I don't think, the level of understanding it takes someone like that to understand where Paris comes from. And I like his background too. I like that he grew up in a small town. He said there was one gas station, one store, one, just in a small town in Illinois. And I think sometimes people hold on to who they are and where they're from. And I think he has done a great job of that. It kind of shows in his character. I don't know him very well. Okay. So, just what I'm seeing though, right. I think he's a good balance to kind of bring her off that high horse sometimes.
Right. And like he said, every once in a while, I need to give you tough love. But one of the main storylines on this show, which I kind of find interesting, and also I wish she would have waited to get married until after the show played out, only because now we already know the result. But, on the show, they're making it look like she's not planning. She's looking at wedding dresses, but she has no idea about a venue. All the venues are booked because of the pandemic. She doesn't know where she's going to have this wedding. She's relying on her mom. She doesn't want to book a planner. And her sister's like, what is the real reason that you're taking your time? Like, are you not comfortable getting married? And you can see she has like these little moments where she's looking away and she looks like she's vulnerable. And she's like, I just don't know. This almost feels too good to be true. It makes me sad for her.
Yeah, I mean, you got to see it from her perspective, though. She's been through this a million times. She is someone who she definitely needs an equal in the relationship. And she even said it to herself. She was preparing to just be that kind of single lady who has things going on. But I think he is the right balance. Now, the only thing I don't understand, this was kind of my takeaway from this episode, was, okay, you called your friend at Oscar de la Renta. You have some dresses. They're ready to go. Cool. But like, you don't have a friend who's a wedding planner. I find that very hard to believe. And I feel like this is just where we get that kind of, storyline for the show.
Right. Well, and to be honest with you, watching her navigate like around her house and her everyday life, like I'm so excited to get the new Kardashians back to Hulu because they're saying they're going to so heavily focus on the business aspect and not all of the B-roll. And if that's the case, like I would love to see what makes Kris Jenner tick aside from money, but like,
wouldn't we all?
Right? Like it would almost like be taking a master class in Kris Jenner's world, what she does, how she keeps things moving, and how she wrangles all of her daughters in this billion-dollar empire. But, seeing Paris, a couple things that I didn't love was watching her on the show and like when she just like arches the back and she like gets into mode where she walks around the house and you could tell the cameras are on her. But if you watch This Is Paris, the documentary, the producers would stop her and be like, you need to do that again. You're being Paris Hilton, not Paris. And she's like, am I? And they're like, you're doing the voice. And she's like, oh shit, let me redo that again. So she would walk back into the room and have to redo it, but she can't help but put on this persona. A cameo that we got though, and one that I loved, and this is her at Paris Hilton's wedding, was from Miss Kathy Hilton herself. She looks stunning. She arrived. I don't even know what kind of car that is because I couldn't even imagine how to afford a car like that. It looks like a Rolls, yeah, or a Maybach. I'm not quite sure. But this woman, she shows up. She shows up to Paris's house. She thinks that, Carter is a good match for Paris. I'm loving seeing the dynamic. But one thing I didn't understand about Miss Kathy Hilton, Miss Hunky Dory, as she said I can call her, because I am an honorary Hilton after that interview. She said that. She was upset about the Hermès tray. She's like, hold on, wait a minute. She stops mid-thought and she sees the Hermès tray on the island and she's like, Paris, what is that doing there? And she's like, I don't know. And she's I think that's the Carter.
I found that so funny because, when I have a tray like that, like I would assume that's what I would do with it. I thought it looked great. So if the housekeepers did it or if Paris actually did it, I thought it looks fantastic. But I love how much of a fit Kathy was having about it being on the island. And she's like, no, you take it to the beach. It belongs on the beach. I'm like, it's Hermès. I thought we just went over this. Like,
yeah, she said it belongs at the beach with nothing on it. I'm like, so then what are you? Okay, so wait a minute, Kathy, because we're not well versed in the rich world. Like, I don't buy my shit at Williams Sonoma. I buy it at Home Goods on clearance. So what does that mean? What do you do with this damn tray that is so rare? And then she's asking Paris, and she's like, obviously Carter doesn't want it because he was supposed to put it in his office. And, you know, if he doesn't want it, give it back to me. And she's like, no, Mom, he didn't do that. She's like, well, then who did it, Paris? Who did it? I need to know who did it. And she's like, Mom, it was one of the housekeepers. Just relax. And I'm thinking in my head, oh, we're going to see a more eccentric, kind of still goofy, but also she's in Mama Bear mode. We're going to see a different Kathy Hilton than the one we see on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And
you know what I hope we see too, a little more of too, is I like to see Nikki. Yeah, because that's quite interesting. I like that dynamic that all three of them have: Paris, Nikki, and Kathy. And we just kind of got a glimpse of Kathy, you know, in this season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which thank goodness she was there because it was very dark this season. And it was nice to have that kind of comedic relief that Kathy brought to the table. I do want to see that the interaction between more of Paris and Nikki and Kathy. I just want to see what that relationship is all about. I do have a question for you because we have seen Paris, you know, on all these different platforms, where it be YouTube, Netflix, now on Peacock. Do you think there was any decision making on, because we do see Kyle Richards is going to come in at an episode during the season. Do you think that had any, I guess what I'm trying to ask is,
did it come from Kyle connecting Kathy? And
Kathy, yes. And like, you can get this show if Kathy comes on the show as a friend. Like, I wonder if there was some kind of agreement made to do this on Peacock.
You know,
because this is one of the first like big shows Peacock has had. I mean, Peacock is basically reruns and like other shows that you don't really see. We're just starting to get content now this fall. So,
right. No, you know, I think honestly, if you think about it, it's easy to break that down. Guys, I want you guys in the live chat to answer Jason's question too. Just to sum it up, he's pretty much saying, do you think there was some sort of arrangement between Kathy and Kyle and Bravo, with Kathy saying, okay, I will come on Bravo, but Paris gets a spinoff on Peacock? However, she's still Paris Hilton at the end of the day. So if she wanted a spinoff, she could have went to E, she could have went to Netflix, she could have went to Hulu, Peacock. She could have taken the spinoff to any of these.
But she's been doing something, you know, she had her movie come on to YouTube, her documentary, which I thought was a great move because I feel like streaming is where everything is going anyways.
Right.
E is kind of, you know, redundant with the Kardashians. Bravo wouldn't be the place, but Peacock is a new streaming platform. So I'm sure she got a great paycheck because she's probably going to bring people onto Peacock who are still kind of like, I don't really know if I want to pay the extra, you know, $5 or whatever it is to have this platform.
But you really don't have to pay the extra. So that's another thing for you guys who are not watching because you don't want to pay for Peacock. You don't actually have to pay for Peacock. You can go on Peacock for free. You just get ads. Now, if you want an ad-free experience, then you pay, you subscribe to Peacock. However, Peacock is still free at the end of the day, at least for now. But no, I agree with you.
Until they have content. Because, I mean, right now they're just showing old content. So until that content builds up, I'm sure there will be some kind of premium. We're just going to steal my sister's login for now.
Yes, for now we're stealing the sister's login. But no, getting back to it, I agree with you. Nicky Hilton and Paris Hilton, I think the dynamic is so interesting. And Nikki did the damn thing, right? She married a Rothschild. She lives in a 15,000 square foot penthouse in New York City, which I didn't even know penthouses that size exist. She's the closest one in the family tied to the royal family. She's worth millions and millions of dollars. And it's something that Paris Hilton has worked her ass off in order to achieve on her own. But Nikki also took herself out of that limelight to an extent to where she's not jaded by it. She doesn't have that persona. She looks at Paris and she's like, Paris, can you drop the act? Like I'm sitting here with you. and I love on the show when she's telling Paris, you have all of these people around you who are yes men, who are like, oh yes, Paris, you're so amazing. And I'm here to tell you, well, sometimes you're not. And I was like, shit, that sounds like my family. Like I could tell my family, hey guys, I hit 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. well, it's not 100, so don't get a big head. And I'm like,
or what does that mean?
yeah, or what does that mean? You know what I mean? But it is good to have those anchors in your life that they keep you kind of held down and make you know, okay, this is great, this is an accomplishment, but this is not the rest of your life. So you need to kind of tune into what's going to make you happy at the end of the day when this is all over. And I think that's important because Paris lives in this sort of never land fantasy of always wanting to be youthful and young. And I think part of that is being in the business that she's in. She doesn't want to grow up and be 40-year-old Paris. She wants to be the relevant, girl who
the relevant
girl who was 20 years old dancing on the tables without dancing on the tables.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree. I really like the style that they're using to film. So I can only hope that this will be kind of copied into how they're going to do, let's say, Girls Trip for the Housewives, or how they're going to do Miami. I like this style of filming. It was Shed Media, who I think does Salt Lake.
Yeah.
I forgot what else they did. I know Evolution. Doesn't Evolution do Beverly Hills?
Yep. Evolution does.
Yeah, Shed Media does. So I just like the style of filming. It was a little different, and it was light. And right now I need light shows. That's why I'm watching Winter House, Below Deck. And this is also, Paris Hilton, like you said, you watched her on The Simple Life. I did too. I was on tour in Japan and we had DVDs and my friend got the whole set of The Simple Life, like seasons 1 and 2. And we just sat there and like binged them because it's just fun. It's dumb. Of course it was like premeditated, but it was, it was fun to watch.
I mean, too, watching it, like I remember going to school and I would think that it was cute to portray myself as dumb. And I would almost like I was channeling my inner Paris Hilton. And the teacher would ask a question and I'd be like, what? And the teacher would be like, I just went over all of this shit with you guys. Were you not paying attention? I'm like, I don't know. Was I not paying attention? But I thought it was so cool because she did it. So I was like emulating Paris Hilton. But
oh, Lord.
Speaking of being staged, because that was so staged, and she revealed that in her documentary that she did know what a Walmart was. She didn't think that was just a store where you buy walls, and she wasn't the person she portrayed herself to be. That was staged, but this moment felt staged as well. So when they got engaged, we see the engagement. He gets down on one knee and he says, Paris, will you marry me? The diamond was beautiful. But when all of the cameras were there and following them, I'm thinking in my head, how does she not know what's going on? Like this.
Okay, no, I think what happened was, and this is just my take on it, is I think that they did have the private island. I think he did do an amazing engagement, but we are doing a reality show, so I'm sure it was restaged out. I mean, she was dressed to a T, like, come on, in all white. Like, let's be honest. This was definitely, and it was filmed with like really good cameras. It wasn't like an iPhone was just going around, So I just feel like, this was definitely a little pre-planned, but this is probably just how they wanted to open the show.
That makes sense. Mary Levin, Adam Hilton, don't you forget it. Don't you forget it. Okay. I'm going to keep it moving. So obviously we know that yesterday, 2 of our favorite celebrities got married. Caroline Stanbury got married in Mauritius? And then also Paris Hilton got married, and she got married in her deceased grandfather's former estate. So this is the estate. They put a huge tent up in the back. The inside of that tent is magical, especially because we saw the work that one guy did. Who was the guy who was Lisa Vanderpump's party planner who did Pandora's wedding? And he'd be like, she, darling, Beverly Hills.
Oh, yeah. Why did I forget his name?
Oh, my gosh. I forgot. Do you remember he told Katie Maloney on one season of Vanderpump Rules that she was gaining weight and that she needs to do something about that?
Unbelievable. And followed by James like a season later.
Yeah, followed by James a season later. But my point was Kevin Lee, yes. He transformed their tennis court into the most magical, beautiful wedding ever for Pandora. So when I'm looking at this tent, I'm like, that is a fairy tale under that tent. It is.
Yeah, you know what happens. Our friend Charlie's a big party planner in LA, and she did that party for what is his name? Now I'm forgetting the guy who drove the Bronco for OJ.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone was there, and I got to help her at that party.
Something?
Yeah, huh?
Was it AC?
AC, yeah, that sounds very familiar. I think that's it. And of course, like Kris Jenner was there, Beyonce's mom, like everyone was there.
Jason walked Kris Jenner to the bathroom.
I did walk Kris Jenner to the bathroom. but I was helping my friend because I was also, in hospitality, managing pump and stuff like that. But my friend asked me to help, and it was a lot of fun. But you walk up to these tents and you're like, okay, what is this? And then you walk inside and it just you just get transformed into a space. So I can only imagine. Also, that's like the size of the house.
Right.
Okay. So
I mean, if you look at
that's going to be huge.
I love that. Well, Carter is so all about like, listen, Paris, this is your fairy tale. I want you to have it the way you want it. It seems like she got her way down to the point. I don't know if you can see the rose bushes in front of the tent, but it's not a P and a C. They're both P's for Paris. So
well, is the white a C? I mean, I can't really tell from this photo, but it looks like the white. C. Yeah, the white is a C, and the P is the pink.
Good catch. Definitely, it's a C. Okay, that's a good catch. That's a good catch. All right, and we saw that Paris Hilton. Well, this is her wedding dress and her veil. She looks beautiful. I am completely obsessed with the idea that we're going to see a married Paris and eventually hopefully see kids. I think this guy is interesting. I love that he sits there. He's nonchalant. Like he's not trying to be that badass, like playboy in Hollywood. He sits there talking to her, reading his book with his legs crossed. And he's like, okay, Paris, how was your day? I love you. I love you more. And I'm like, okay, you're kind of getting annoying, but I actually really like you for Paris. So we'll keep you around.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I agree.
With that, I'm curious, Jason, if you had to guess, because we know that this is one of the hottest tickets in town, getting into Paris Hilton's wedding, it was celebrity filled. We had Emma Watson, BB Rexa. We had so many people, a ton of celebrities. Like the guest list was ridiculous. But I'm wondering, aside from Kyle Richards, do you think any of these women made it in?
I'm going to say no.
No?
No.
They made it to the bachelorette party.
Of course, I'm sure the bachelorette party was maybe filmed. No,
it was filmed. Remember, because the bachelorette party was the day that I did my interview with Kathy Hilton, and they were going to film it. So, yep, it's all going to be filmed on Paris in Love.
And it's just it's a bachelorette party. It's not the actual event. So
yeah, but who the So wait, is that how it works? You could just be like, hey, ladies, you want to come to my bachelorette? Oh, my God, your wedding's going to be so amazing. I know. It's so sad.
Yeah, too bad you can't come.
Yeah, sorry you can't come.
Your filming schedule for Beverly Hills might interfere, so.
We can only fit 300 people, so we're so sorry that you couldn't make it. And it makes me wonder, too, because Kathy Hilton, she is filming The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, still very much so as a friend of, because she doesn't want the full-time commitment of the contract that comes with being a full-time housewife. Do you think that she let the Bravo cameras into the wedding? I'm going to say no.
Paris and
Kathy. Do you think they let Beverly Hills?
No, I think if there were any cameras, it would be for, Paris in Love. Now Paris is married. I don't think there would be any Bravo cameras there or stuff like that. No.
I don't think so either. I saw some tweets where people were like, definitely, she is definitely going to let Bravo cameras film it. And I'm thinking in my head, probably not, guys, because this is an intimate moment. And we've even heard, this didn't age well, but even Lala Kent said, I don't want cameras at my wedding for Vanderpump Rules because this is a once in a lifetime, again, didn't age well, but this is a once in a lifetime marriage.
You don't have to worry about that.
Well, you don't have to worry about, that's not funny, but okay. But she didn't want cameras in there because she wanted to be able to enjoy the moment and not have to focus on, okay, camera, angle. Like she didn't have to deal with that. But Harsh Reality by yours truly, Krista Marie said, when is your guys' wedding and are we invited? If Jason keeps acting out, you might catch a funeral before the wedding.
Oh,
but
Lord.
I mean, guys, by the way, Jason was so ornery this morning.
I was not.
Yes, you were.
Yes, I got up and went to the gym with you.
No. I dropped you off at the gym and I went and did my walk around the neighborhood, whatever. And then you got back in the car and you were hangry or whatever. I don't know what you were.
What the hell? You were at the gym with me. You were literally on the treadmill next to me. So I don't know what you're talking about. See how he makes shit up? He makes shit up.
That's not making shit up. Okay. Anyways, getting back to it. I did.
Okay, Erica.
Bitch, you got the wrong one. Okay. All right. So obviously we know moving forward as we continue to watch Paris in Love. And by the way, 250 in the room. That's amazing. I did not know we were going to get that.
I'm telling you. Okay. See, I didn't know if this would be popular at all because, you know, it's Paris is like kind of like, okay, take her or leave her. But it's more popular than 90 Day Fiancé. So
honestly, yeah. And, you know, oh, by the way, hold on. I just thought of this. We have an imposter, you guys. We have an imposter, a fake, a fraud, a phony, a floozy, and they're taking all my shit. And they're taking it to another site. Well, and Jason found it. Someone sent it to Jason.
No, actually, we have a subscriber, awesome subscriber who sent it to me. But yeah, there is a Chinese YouTube called Billy. And the thing is you need to do lives, or we have to start watermarking your pre-records because they only take your videos. And it's part of, I think, this channel that has like all of Bravo and like reality TV stuff from the States. It has like a whole bunch. It's so funny. I wish I could find it and add a link because it's so funny to go look at. But it has all of your stuff there. It has like 7 views, so don't worry about it. It's not like they're making any money.
It's an imposter. Okay.
It's an imposter. You're gonna be famous in China, Adam.
I do want to say too, the other day, Jason and I were walking, we just left lunch. And I know this is so random and I'm not trying to toot any horn or whatever, but we just left lunch and we met an amazing subscriber. I was hit on the head and I keep on.
Oh my gosh. Can I just tell the story?
Yes,
so we're walking out and then all of a sudden this girl kind of stops with her 2 kids and she's like, are you guys on YouTube? And Adam's like Adam like backs away and like
I get scared of
oh my
people.
gosh,
Have you
who
read
are
my
you?
comments? I get scared. I honestly, and I was the same way. Like in Thailand, I just get nervous because what are you going to punch me in the face? Or are you going to want to give me a hug? I don't know. Like I don't know. I get scared. But I'm also very socially awkward. So if you ever catch me out and about, like Jason is like, hey, embraces you, and somebody comes up to me and I'm like, please. I don't know what I did to you.
Adam's like the type of person, if someone comes up and, hey, Adam, are you Adam from up? And he'll be like, run! Like, he's just like,
I do.
Okay.
I do. And then we got in the car and I got to listen to Jason for 10 minutes tell me how I need to go get my eyebrows waxed and I need to stop wearing pajamas out and about because you never know when you're going to run into somebody that you meet. So thank you, Jason. You are just so lovely. Okay.
When you get that silver play button, you know, I mean, you've built such a channel and a community. You want to, you know, represent your brand.
Guys, I feel like I have a momager. Are you like my Chris Bassett?
No, I'm not like your Chris Bassett. I'm like your Chris Jenner. Okay. Not Chris Bassett.
Okay. Swap the C for a K. All right. Well, with that, guys, we're already 32 minutes in, 270 in the room. You guys are amazing. I'm going to keep this recap a little bit shorter today because Jason is coming back in 25 minutes. Jason.
Ooh, yes.
Hold on. Let me actually. Will you tell us what you're doing? And I'm going to pin it in the live chat while you tell us.
Awesome. Thank you. We are recapping Winter House. I'm doing that with my friend Natalie Femtero. We do that at 12:30. We're doing it every week because we really are enjoying the show. I'm enjoying this show. And I didn't get into Southern Charm or what's the other one? Summer House. And then also Sunday, we're doing I'm going to pitch this too. Sorry, Adam. We're doing our Wiki Key. It's our weekly key that I do also with Femtero. And we usually talk, you know, some Bravo hot topics and astrology and stuff like that. But when I started my channel, I said that I was going to do a lot of reviews on Housewives products. So I have an unboxing to do on Sunday at 2:30 p.m. And then, of course, we're doing our Potomac on Monday.
Yes. All right. So, guys, I just went ahead and replaced the pin message. So you guys can go ahead. There's, again, over 250 in the room. Go follow. It's in the live chat. It's pinned up. It's Winter House with Jason and Femtero. And hopefully they'll be taking callers. I'm not sure what their algorithm is. Jason always tells me to stop, you know, telling him what to do on his channel. And then he says I overtalk him. I'm putting you on blast today because you were really mean this morning. So
I was not. Okay, hold on. Rewind. No, 0. Not.
Krista Marie said you are my spirit animal up and out. Notice how she didn't say it to you?
I'm going to interrupt you. Hold on. Listen. Who's dieting right now? Who is not drinking right now? You. Who do you think is going to be Henri? Me or you?
No, because I'm not drinking, I get to see the flaws really clearly. I feel like I'm looking into a diamond that has a little bit of smoke in it because I'm not jaded. Okay. So with that, and the diet might make me hangry, but it doesn't make me a full-fledged bitch.
But it doesn't make you Henri? It just makes you hangry? Okay.
Well, all right.
I think those dollar oysters wore off from yesterday. So you need more food.
Down with Jason. I don't think you were mean at all. Jason is not mean.
That's right. I'm not mean.
Oh, yeah. You guys, he's an absolute doll. If anyone wants to take him, go ahead. Jesus. Shots fired. Okay. All right. Rosemary said, remember on your way out to hit that like button. Yes. And Murray said, I love you too. Murray, we can't wait to meet you. All right, guys. Also, don't forget that we have Portia's Family Matters that we will be going live later at the end of the month when it comes out. I'm going to be doing a collab with Grace Report and Tisa Tells. And then we'll be covering Real Housewives of Orange County. Jason and I will be doing that together. Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. Of course, we'll be doing that together. I don't know how interesting it's going to be, but
I don't know if you can really recap that.
Yes, you can. You didn't think we could recap this and look where we're at.
Okay.
But
point taken.
For the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, if you guys want to watch the first 6 minutes, you guys can go on Peacock right now and check it out. They do have the first 6 minutes of the show. So go watch it. See what you think. I'm going to post a poll in my community tab later for you guys to give me your opinions. And don't forget, we are going live in 3 hours with Emily D. Baker. We're going live to talk about some of the Ronald Richards stuff. Was he let go? Was he not? We had him on our show yesterday, but Emily D. Baker has been breaking down a lot of the court documents. So I feel like I have not gotten my fix as of yet. And then last night we came on for Hot Messy Topics. We had 8 topics and we narrowed them down to 3 because we couldn't stop talking about the same 3. So we have a lot
but we got so many great opinions because even like that's what I said last night too is I love hearing people that, okay, we maybe not see eye to eye on everything, but it's good to have opinions and it's good to see where other people are coming from and get their perspective because again, if we were all the same, this would be so boring.
Carla, okay. What did you pay her?
No.
Did you? I feel like Carla's like Kim Richards in like I'm Lisa Rinna and she's like, eat some bread. I'm like, okay, relax, Carla. We love you. Nicole Washington said, y'all are spicy today. And BK said, okay, Adam should go eat a piece of bread. Okay.
Yeah, maybe just a small one.
Carla said, this was great. I so enjoyed this. Bye, y'all. All right, guys, with that, again, I posted Jason's live that he's going on in 20 minutes. It's pinned at the top of this live chat. For anyone who's watching, thank you so much. Thank you to all of our mods, our amazing live chat, and our super chat, super stickers. You guys are the best. Jason, where can we find you, please?
You can find me at Down with Jason. I'm more or less your sister channel. Cover some different shows. We do a couple different things. So go check us out. We are covering Winter House in about 20 minutes. It is like one of my newer fun shows. I never watched all those Summer House or Southern Charm. So this is so new and fun for me. And then also come join us this weekend. I'm going to be doing an unboxing for our weekly key that I do with FM Tarot. So that'll be fun. We'll review some Housewives products.
All right. And Krista Marie said, Jason, did you see my one idea that I sent you on IG DM?
Yes. Sorry, I'm so behind on my everything right now. You asked Jamie, I owe her like 5 emails. I think Jordan just texted me. I have to text her back. So I'm sorry. I'm coming. I promise.
Oh, that's so funny coming from someone who says that I need to get more organized. Well, look at that.
Because I have to worry about organizing you first, and then I can get back to
you are out of your mind. Out of your mind. Guys, I have to jump off of here because Jason needs a reality check. How about that? All right. So actually, speaking of reality check TV with Bad and Bougie. Hey, you're welcome in the room. Adam, did you get my email? Yes, I did. I'm so sorry. Actually, I will be getting back to you as well.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I love you guys. Jason has to go get ready for his 12:30. So we will see you guys later today at 3 p.m. Bye, guys. Love you. See you soon.